and welcome to Shell Point today for the weekend of March 25th, 26th, and 27th. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we'll take a stroll by the garden plots on the island to try and solve the mystery of the disappearing and reappearing rabbits. And we'll recap the top stories from this week.
But first, we'd like to remind you of some events coming up next week. On Monday, it will be time for an excursion to everyone's favorite beach, Delnor Wiggins Pass State Park. Now is the perfect weather to come out for sun, shade, and surf. Enjoy a picnic lunch included in the cost of $16 with a stop for ice cream on your own. Court pickups begin on the island at 8:30 a.m., so make sure you sign up.
After relaxing at the beach Monday, you might want to take a classic movie in at the Social Center that evening. The 1948 flick Easter Parade, starring Judy Garland and Fred Astaire, will be shown. It's an extravagant musical where Astaire plays a Broadway star who tries to make a hit performer out of the next dancer he sees, which is played by Garland. There's dancing, there's romance, there's intrigue. Hey, what's not to like about this movie? Grab your partner and swing on by the Social Center on Monday at 6:45 p.m.
And finally, don't forget to take advantage of the dining options available for this Easter Sunday. The Palm Grill will be open from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. You can enjoy brunch at the Crystal Room from 10:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. or go for lighter fare at the Island Cafe from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. For the details on all of these Easter dining options, consult this month's issue of Shell Point Life magazine.
And speaking of Easter, just to get you in the mood, we thought we'd present some of the beautiful and colorful gardens maintained by Shell Point residents on the island. However, when we arrived, we noticed something quite interesting, as Marge Lee explained, quite mysterious as well. Well, Marge, it took a little bit of investigation, but I think we finally come to the solution as to what happened to your rabbits.
Well, the rabbits like to roam, and for a long time I thought they were doing this on their own, but then I found out I had a cohort here in the gardens, and it's Goz, and Goz is helping the rabbits.
This guy right here.
Over to his garden because it's a lot prettier than my garden.
Goz, yes. Come on, what are you doing with our rabbits? And all this time I thought they were just hopping over the fence.
Well, so did Marge. Well, we've had a lot of fun with it. In fact, I have one in my garden now, thanks to Marge.
Oh, yeah?
And I appreciate it. And I don't have to move hers anymore.
Well, you know, that's not too hard to come by, rabbits. I mean, they do multiply pretty quickly, I understand.
That is very true, but not this type of rabbit. They don't seem to multiply.
How did you discover what happened?
Well, I suspected all along that Goss was behind this. But then one day I came and I actually caught him in the act of moving a rabbit.
Oh, wow.
And he was helping a rabbit get up on a fence post. Now, I knew that probably the rabbits couldn't do that on their own, but I wasn't sure. But then I saw Goss doing it, so
Caught him red-handed.
I caught him red-handed.
So did you report him to the rabbit police?
No, but I did twist his arm, and he helps me with my garden now.
Oh, so you got something out of the whole deal.
I did indeed.
Now, guys, I understand you have such a beautiful plot over there, and we'll show some pictures of that. And you were just telling us earlier, you're going to swap all that beautiful stuff out for more beautiful stuff.
Well, when I leave at the end of April, everything gets ripped out except the back hedge and covered with a black cloth. And then in the fall, I'll replant and have fun again.
Well, we'll have to be sure and see that and show everybody what you're doing. So it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun here.
We are.
And people who may not be involved with this gardening, maybe they've done some gardening in the past, what can you say to them? Because I'm looking right here, that looks like an empty plot that's just waiting for someone to take over.
There are a number of empty plots here, but I would say that all the gardeners here just have a wonderful time with their gardens, and also the people walking by. It's amazing to me how many people, for instance, are involved with the rabbits. They walk by every day. They want to see where the rabbits have moved. If they can't find the rabbit right away, they get upset. They want to know where the rabbits are. So it's as much fun for the residents walking by, I think, as for us, the gardeners.
So the rabbits are becoming quite the celebrity over here in the gardens, I understand. And I also understand that Goss is not the only person that's been up to some mischievousness here.
That is indeed true. One day we came back from travels, and we saw that all the rabbits had little adorable blue capes, every rabbit. And we had no idea who was putting these capes on the rabbits. And the cape went away, and then it came back when it rained. And then one evening we were in the gardens, and a couple walked by, and she said, "Do you wonder where the capes have come from?" And we said, "Yes." And it was indeed she, and it was Susan Fountain, another resident. And she was just walking by. She was captivated with the rabbits and decided they needed a cape for the rain. So she made them.
What about that? Well, it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun out here with these gardens, not just with the plants and everything, but having a little bit of games and fun.
Absolutely. To add to that story, Marge went away for the holidays, Marge and David, and I took care of her garden. And one day I'm walking to the garden, and I noticed that the rabbits had moved, and I hadn't done it.
Wow.
And we still don't know who has been moving them, other than me.
Wow, so everybody's getting involved. So you're not the only Mr. McGregor in the garden here.
Absolutely not.
Well, now, Marge, I understand it's Easter.
Yes.
Just around the corner here.
Yes.
And something unusual has happened in your garden here. And it involves the rabbits, and it looks like a really large egg. What's going on here?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but the rabbits are looking at this egg with great expectation. And I'm thinking about Easter morning, there may be a surprise out of that egg, but I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Wow. So residents need to take a stroll by here on the island on Easter morning maybe and see what's happened.
I think they should. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in that egg, so I think people will be surprised.
So come on out to the island and check out Marge's garden and Goss and everybody else who's doing some beautiful work here. And who knows, you just might see a little surprise with the bunny rabbits here.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment, weekend edition of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy.
And I'm Bev Chandley.
We're going to give you information for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just a reminder that Friday is Good Friday and all administrative offices are closed. We start at 8 o'clock on Friday with men's match play tennis at the Woodlands. At 8:15 we have the Stamp Ministry down in the Stamp Room. At 9 o'clock we have Canasta and Samba at the common second floor lobby of the Woodlands. At 10 o'clock we have men's match play tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. Inquiring Minds will meet in the Manatee Room at 10:15. And there is a Good Friday communion service at the Village Church starting at 10:15. We move into the afternoon and start with 12:30 Mixed Progressive Bridge in the Woodlands Game Room. At 12:45 we have Zumba Fitness in the Tarpon Room, and that one is currently closed. At 1:15 we have Quilters meeting in the Osprey Room. And the Model Train Room will be open for complimentary tours and viewing from 1:30 to 3:30. That's down in the train room in the Island Tunnel. The first Vespers is at 1:30 in the community room of the Arbor. And at 1:45 we have Advanced Table Tennis in the Tarpon Room. At 2 o'clock we have Big Euchre in the Woodland Sable Room. At 2:15 the Water Volleyball group will be at the Life Quest Aquatic Center. And we move to 2:30 for the second Vespers in the community room of King's Crown. 3 o'clock's the time for the Ballroom Line Dancing group to be in the Tarpon Room. And our final Vespers is at 3:30 at the Springs. We round out our Friday with game night in the Osprey Room at 6:45. Here's Bev to tell you all about our Saturday.
Thank you, Caitlin. We're going to start Saturday morning at 8 o'clock with pickleball going on at the game courts behind the Resident Activity Center. And then we have round robin doubles tennis down at the Woodlands at 8 o'clock as well. The men's and women's doubles tennis will start at 9:30. And at 9:45 we have duplicate bridge being played down in the Manatee Room. Now the Model Yacht Sailing Club will be at the Garden Apartment Pond at 10:15. And now we're going to take a look at the afternoon lineup. We have a 1 o'clock chess game at the Library Lounge at the Resident Activities Center. At 1:15, table tennis will be set up in the Tarpon Room on the island. We have basic line dancing in the Tarpon Room at 3:15. And at 5:30, we go to a good old hockey game. Court pickups begin to go to the Everblades game at 5:30 on the island, 5:40 at the Woodlands, and 5:50 at Eagles Preserve and the Estuary. You do need to sign up for that in advance. Now here's Caitlin to tell you the Sunday lineup.
Thank you, Bev, and happy Easter. We start Sunday morning off at 6:45 with Easter sunrise service at the Administration Courtyard. At 10:15, we have the morning worship service at the Village Church. It's also broadcast live on Shell Point TV, Channel 13. At 3:30, we have the Sunday Golf Mixer at the Shell Point Golf Club. And the Latin-sized dance group will be meeting at the Tarpon Room at 4:15. At 6:15, we have a Season of Praise concert with Rachel Park, as she is a pianist. That's at the Village Church, and you do need a ticket for that. Well, that's all we have for you for the weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Friday and the weekend. At 10:15 on Friday, we have an iPad, iPhone, Mac free walk-in clinic in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. I'd like to tell you what's coming up in the Academy of Lifelong Learning next week. On Monday, Bob Jakubiak of Lucina begins Intermediate iPad 2. And we have Academy on the Go number 6. This is a tour of Southwest Florida coast by boat. Also, How I Learned to Love My iPad for Graphics with Wayne Wolfert of Lucina, and an iPhone iPad Security Options course with Bruce Findlay of Sundial. Professor Adrian Kerr brings us Portugal, the first global empire.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is baked grouper with stewed tomatoes and vegetable rice. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $17.95. The soup of the day is New England clam chowder. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Friday, the special is a captain's platter with fries and slaw for $7.75. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are crab Newburg for $18.95 or Florida snapper for $17.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, the special is a Philly cheesesteak with onion rings for $7.75. The dinner special is pesto chicken with wild rice and green beans for $8.75. Dinner special in the Palm Grill on Saturday is prime rib for $20.95. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Easter brunch for $27.95. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is a ham, egg, and cheese croissant with fresh fruit for $7.75, and they will be closed at 2 o'clock for the Easter holiday. And the Palm Grill is open on Easter from 11 o'clock until 4 o'clock with a special menu. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church. I'm here with Randy Woods, our minister of worship and music, and we're here to talk about the weekend services, and a special weekend it is, isn't it?
It's Resurrection Sunday.
Indeed.
Easter 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start on Easter Sunday morning at the amphitheater here on the island at 7 o'clock with our very traditional sunrise service.
Now, you're really talking about Friendship Point now, are you not?
You're exactly right.
That's
the
right.
Friendship Point here on the island, and it has been the gathering place for years. A really wonderful space and a great place to catch the sunrise. There's not a better view anywhere in the community.
Yeah, and because it's been redone, it's renovated, even more comfortable,
Much more comfortable
than it had been in the past. A glorious place to watch the sunrise and to experience the worship that we'll have together.
Yeah, as we sing together, beginning the service, and the bells will ring at 7 o'clock, our handbell choir, and then we'll sing together. We're looking forward to hearing from our newest member of the staff, and that would be Sunny Torres, as she will be speaking. Sunny's working as our chaplain here at the pavilion, and as well in the assisted living facilities overseeing the volunteer chaplains.
That's right. Her title is Director of Spiritual Services at the Shell Point Retirement Community.
Yeah.
But a special lady she is, and quite a dynamic speaker, and I think people will thoroughly enjoy the message that she brings on sunrise service that morning.
And as she's speaking, we'll conclude that service, as we've done in the past, with singing Christ the Lord is Risen Today, pausing for a moment for the release of the doves, symbolizing the freedom that we have over the grave, Christ's victory as we sing, Soar We Now Where Christ Hath Led, and releasing those doves together.
Yeah, special day. I've always enjoyed it ever since I've been here. It's one of the most glorious mornings, and we're just looking forward to it.
So that starts at 7 o'clock a.m., and then we will gather again at the church at 10:15 for the morning worship service.
That's right.
And as we continue the resurrection celebration with congregational singing, Dr. Ron Bowd, who is a resident in the estuary and a fine pianist and organist, he will serve as organist on Easter Sunday morning. The choir will be singing Don Wurtson's anthem, Worthy is the Lamb, as well as the Hallelujah Chorus. It's a perfect day to celebrate with that expression of praise. And you'll be speaking Sunday morning as well on the resurrected teacher.
That's exactly right. And it's always interesting to me, and of course I'm a teacher, so it's really interesting to me that one of the first things that Jesus did in the first very day that he was resurrected is he walked on the road to Emmaus, talking with a couple of disciples and expounding to them the scriptures concerning the life, death, and resurrection of Messiah, really speaking about himself, showing and teaching all the things that were shown about him and his resurrection from the Old Testament. And so he is the resurrected teacher. Can you imagine just sitting under the teaching of Christ, but then sitting under him in his resurrected state? What a special time that must have been for those people. And we're going to get hopefully a glimpse and an experience of it ourselves as we explore one of these extraordinary dynamic moments as Jesus taught the significance of the resurrection, showing how the scriptures were fulfilled in the events of those 3 days.
Yeah. And we'll get a glimpse of the concert to come on Sunday morning as we share in worship. Rachel Park, our guest artist, will also be playing piano Sunday morning as we celebrate the resurrection. And then in the evening service at 6:15, it's our Season of Praise concert, where as a featured artist, this pianist, a Korean pianist who is exceptional, Rachel Park, will be performing. And you've had the opportunity to hear her. Many of our residents did with the King's Brass, as she was their accompanist for the last several years.
That's right. I mean, she's always had the opportunity since I've been hearing the concerts with the King's Brass they'll let her show off a little bit, weren't they? Yeah. And then when she gets to play a solo, it's fabulous.
Oh, it is. And
Yeah.
it will be. She'll be playing familiar hymn tunes as well as the classics, arrangements of hymns that have that Korean influence in her writing and arranging. But she'll also be performing the Chopin Etude as well as selections by Debussy, and looking forward to her concert. Tickets for that will be available at the door starting at 5:15, and the concert is at 6:15 Sunday night. So it's going to be a wonderful day to celebrate.
Absolutely. So that's Easter Sunday morning, or what we really refer to as Resurrection Day. The sunrise service at 7 a.m. At the amphitheater, otherwise known as Friendship Point. And then no Christian life studies classes on Easter Sunday morning, but instead the worship service at our regular time of 10:15, a glorious time celebrating the resurrection of Christ. And then our Season of Praise concert, 6:15 in the evening with Rachel Park.
Yes.
What a day.
It's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
I trust everyone here will come and be a part of this wonderful celebration.
Yes. Please join us on Resurrection Day this coming Sunday.
And now it's time to take a look at the top stories from earlier this week. Bev Chanley is a huge hockey fan. She's got all her gear on and she's ready to play. Come on out with her this weekend to watch the Everblades hockey team play the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Not Easter Rabbits, Swamp Rabbits. They're at the Germain Arena in Estero.
Chanley, and I love ice hockey. I grew up north where ice hockey was real popular. Everybody played it out on the pond, and some people played it in leagues. And when I moved to Florida in the year 2000, I couldn't tell you how excited I was to find out that Southwest Florida has its own professional hockey team, the Florida Everblades. Now, I know a lot of you residents out there also grew up north in frozen wastelands where hockey was popular, and you had your own favorite teams. But we like to go out and see these Everblades play. They're a wonderful team, and they are the defending Kelly Cup champions this year. So we want to get out there and support our championship team by signing up to go on the Shell Point Everblades trip. Now, we will be at Germain Arena. There will be stairs to navigate and arena seating to navigate. So be sure you're up for the task. Should be a great night out. So grab a friend, get ready, get psyched to go see the hockey team. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We will see you then.
Well, if hockey doesn't take your breath away, then perhaps this next segment will. The fitness dynamic duo of Melanie Brode and Heather Batty are out at the park on the island ready to get you moving and help you stay fit. Here's a fit tip to get you started.
Hi, I'm Melanie Brode with today's Fit Tip, and I have Heather Batty with me today, and she's going to demonstrate some exercises. I hear a lot about, I feel that my legs are getting weak and I can't get up and out of the chair, so what can I do? You can get up and get out of the chair. So I'm going to have Heather sit at the end of the chair with her feet planted, and she's going to throw her arms forward, and she's going to try to stand all the way up and go all the way down. All the way up. Keep going, Heather. Let's try to go a little bit faster. Oh. You got it. If this is hard for you, and it may be because you're losing strength in your legs, then you should rock back, lift your feet, and use momentum to lift yourself up and out of the chair. So this is an easy way to be a beginner because you're using your momentum to force you up and out of the seat. Good. And then she just demonstrated as we started, it was a little bit more difficult because she's keeping her feet planted and she's pushing through her heels, her glutes, her stomach, quadriceps. This is going to give you a whole lower body strengthening workout, and it's a little bit of cardio. Like you said earlier, you can exercise during the commercials, during the TV when you're watching, and you'll get a workout. Good job, Heather. That's today's Fit Tip. We'll see you later.
Earlier this week, we looked in on the Knitters Anonymous group. They have devoted thousands of hours to a noble cause, crafting blankets and clothing for those in need, both near and far. The group has grown to approximately 40 volunteer crafters who have produced these fabulous items. Rich Nation caught up with Jane Hoden and Emily Kleitzen recently as they were packing items to be shipped to World Relief, Amnion Crisis Pregnancy Center, and United Indian Missions International. In addition, lap robes were crafted for our veterans in Tampa and Port Charlotte.
Okay, we want to bring something really interesting and fascinating to you here today, and this is an organization that you may not have known about, and they're actually one of the oldest here at Shell Point. They've been around for over 40 years, and I'm talking about Knitters Anonymous. And I have Jane and Emily here with me today, and you guys have been doing something really awesome here, not just because you're making these beautiful garments and merchandise, but what you're doing with them. First of all, tell me how this whole group got started years ago and what you're doing today.
Knitters Anonymous started over 40 years ago. It's celebrating its 42nd anniversary, and a woman in 1974 gave a $30,000 gift to the village church, and it was invested, and the money that is made on the investment is interest, and we use the interest to buy the yarn so that the women who knit for Knitters Anonymous can have the yarn and they don't have to pay for it. And the real purpose of it is we send to 3 different agencies this material. These items go to Native Americans in Glendale, Arizona, to an agency there that caters to families. And the next items go to a crisis pregnancy center in Philadelphia. And the last table items with the hats and some scarves go to World Mission in Atlanta. And then they divvy it out where it's needed.
So it's clear to see that this is much more than just an activity or an organization for people to knit. You talked about the village church from the onset. It's truly a ministry, and what you're doing with these items is definitely ministry.
Well, we like to think it is, and I get wonderful and very appreciative thank you notes from the individual organizations. And they are just very, very grateful, and they say that the women who do the knitting and the crocheting, because we have some people who crochet, do such beautiful work, and it's kind of a labor of love.
Absolutely, and it truly is beautiful stuff. Jane, it looks like a lot of hours and time has been put into this stuff. It's not something that just comes overnight.
It certainly is. We estimate that Knitters Anonymous ladies produce about 5,000 to 8,000 hours every year. And last year, 2015, they produced and we sent out over 460 items to charity.
Wow.
And there is a 4th charity that started in 2014 when I joined Emily and we co-lead this group. And the ladies of the group said, we love the historic charities, but we would like to do something on behalf of people in Florida. And I researched what was being asked for in Florida. And I'm a veteran, and I saw on the internet that the VA hospitals in Florida were looking for lap robes. That's a 3 by 4 foot knitted or crocheted garment to put over the lap of a veteran in a hospital or a nursing home. And last year, my husband and I delivered 65 lap robes to the Tampa VA hospital and to the Port Charlotte, it's the Douglas Jacobson home for veterans. And we hand deliver them, and we have taken some photos of the recipients, and they absolutely love them.
Yeah, I saw the photos, and we're probably seeing those now, and it's just wonderful what you guys are doing, as you said, right here at home in Florida, and then all over the place, because once they go to Arizona, you talked about the missions aspect of it, it's going where? I mean, do you even know how far some of these items travel?
We really don't, but the ones that go to Arizona go to Native American, and it's a family organization, so people come who need warm clothes, and we try to accommodate them what their needs are.
Okay.
In the case of World Relief, they are sent to refugees in needing areas, so we have no idea. We make them and they are distributed wherever they're needed.
Right. You take it as far as you can.
We've taken it as
God
far
takes
as
it the rest of the way.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay, well, let's take a stroll down through here if you guys want to kind of show us and talk about some of these items. And
Well, these are baby blankets that help the new mothers, and the girls, some of them crochet, some of them do beautiful knitting. And then down here we have little baby hats for infants, for newborns. And we also have a group at the Springs and at the Arbor. And the group at the Arbor makes some for Knitters Anonymous, and they do some for the Health Park. And they donate to the prenatal unit at the Health Park Hospital.
wow, what about that?
So
yeah, some of
it's-
these are really tiny. You can, yeah, wow.
And
Newborns.
then these items go to World Relief with the warm hats, and I send them to Atlanta, and then they distribute them from there.
How many knitters would you say you have?
We have more than 40 at this time. Last year, we made concerted efforts to grow this organization, and we more than doubled the number of participants, and because of that, we have more hours, and because of that, we have more of a need for yarn. So we get our yarn not only by purchasing it from the interest on the endowment, but also we get great donations from our thrift shop, and we are so grateful to them, as well as from residents and from people on the outside.
Right, well, there's a class, I understand, as well you can get involved in and learn some
There
more of the
is.
techniques.
That class is going on now. It is headed by Pat Meredith, who also, she is a master knitter, and Shell Point is so fortunate to have her as a resident here. I assist in that class. Emily is involved in that class as well, and we hope to inspire new crafts people.
Well, that would be great, yeah, because I mean, it looks like there could be no end to the task here.
There are 2 boxes in that cupboard right there, and they can just come in any time, but the third Wednesday around 2:15, I'm here for the knitters to drop off their goods, and it's important that they record their hours, and we have a list so that when they bring the item, I asked how many hours did you spend on this, and they put down their item, and they put down their hours, and then they all go to the volunteer coordinator.
And remind our viewers why it's important to have these hours logged.
Oh, it is so important for Shell Point, and it helps with its status as a nonprofit organization. It also gives credence to what the value of the volunteerism is. It makes a significant difference.
Sure. And speaking of manpower, we've got a man that is involved in this organization and this whole thing, and that's Arnie, and we want to bring him on here and
I could
talk to
not
him.
do the sending of the items without Arnie Sharesky.
Well, a number of years, my wife was responsible for this work, and you can imagine how that happened then. She just took me in, said, Arnie, we're going over and we're going to pack the stuff, because she wasn't able to do it. So I've been doing it now for probably 12, 13, 14 years. And it's a labor of love and enjoy it very much. Just takes an hour or 2 or 3 times a year. Pack them up, seal the boxes, take them down to the UPS room, and they're shipped the next day.
So you work with them at the UPS room as well?
I do. I work on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And I try to get it there on Tuesdays because John Bendel really wants to have the best stuff come on Tuesdays. That's his day, but we don't always make it.
Right, right. Well, this sounds like a wonderful thing. I know it's a wonderful thing, and here's the proof and what you guys are doing. And I'd say keep up the good work. Don't lose any steam, and anything people can do to get involved. They just need to get involved with the knitting group or contact one of you guys from Knitters Anonymous. Is that what they should do?
We'll welcome them. I hope maybe this spring to have a volunteer, but an appreciation tea for all of the women who are involved, because I get wonderful thank you notes from the different organizations, and I would just like to share those wonderful kudos from the agencies with the girls who do the knitting.
It's
and
good
the
to show
crocheting.
them the work in action and the results of what they're doing. And so there you have it. It's Knitters Anonymous, and it's something that you can get involved in and spend as little or as much time as you want and make a difference and being involved with ministry right here at Shell Point. At the King's Crown Assisted Living Facility, residents have been enjoying some exercises to help with posture alignment and upper body strengthening. It's a fun class hosted by fitness coordinator Hannah Hosterman. Here's Hannah once again.
Hi, my name is Hannah Hosterman, and I'm a fitness coordinator here at Shell Point. I'd like to talk to you today about my King's Crown class, Fun and Fitness. It's a seated exercise class at King's Crown on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:45 to 2:15. There's no sign-up fee involved. I like to show you some exercises that we do during Fun and Fitness. A basic exercise for your biceps is just a bicep curl. So we'll start with the weights in our hand, palms up, and we'll just lift up and down. Also, we'll work some shoulders, so we'll do some shoulder presses, some push-pulls, and some side raises. All of these exercises are perfect for posture alignment and upper body strengthening. Now I'd like to show you some lower body exercises to strengthen the legs. Some marches, some leg extensions, some toe raises, and some heel raises. You can get a full body workout in the chair at King's Crown. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:45 to 2:15 p.m. at King's Crown. Thank you.
Salon and Spa Manager Robin Church was happy to show us this month's promotion on Matrix oil products, as well as the spiffy new barber's chair. So men, there's no excuse not to be walking around Shell Point sporting a clean cut and shave.
Hi, my name is Robin, and I'm the Salon and Spa Manager, and I'm here in the Island Salon. And I just wanted to introduce you to Matrix new line. This is the Miracle Oil with Volume Rose is what it's called. And it's made with natural rosehip oil. It's an extra volumizing line, so it's great for fine or thinner hair. And it also adds a nice shine and a healthy bounce. One great tip, it was written up in a popular women's magazine just recently, and you can add just a drop of the oil to the mousse, and that'll give you some additional shine and volume in the hair. So it has a wonderful fragrance. It actually kind of smells like roses. So it's 10% off this month. Just stop by the Island Salon and we'd be happy to help you. And I just wanted to share with you our newest addition, which is our authentic barber chair. A lot of our gentlemen are really enjoying the comfort of this chair. It has a lot of added cushion, it's a little wider, it's just a bigger, more masculine chair. So if you'd like to come and enjoy a wonderful haircut in our new barber chair, please give us a call at 489-8400 extension 1 for the Island Salon. Thanks and have a great day.
And also this week, Rita Southern spoke about your options to planning your future as a Shell Point resident. What are your choices and your resources? Well, Rita spoke with Janine Hammond about this important subject and the partnership they have formed with residents when it comes to assisted living.
I'm Rita Southern. I'm the Director of Assisted Living and Resident Support Services here at Shell Point. We're here today to talk a little bit about some of your options as a Shell Point resident to planning your future. When is it time to look at assisted living? What are your choices and what are some of your resources? Today we have Janine Hammond, who is one of those resources.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Janine. It's great to have you. Janine has a unique position here at Shell Point. She works with all of our case managers and with all of our residents living in independent living, as well as helping to facilitate moves throughout our continuum. Tell us a little bit, Janine, about what you and the case managers do with our residents.
A lot of the meetings and appointments that we have with residents, we're talking about exactly what you said, the resources that are available for residents here at Shell Point that might help them in case they have a short-term need for additional support or more of a long-term need, helping them to plan and devise a plan for what will help them now and in the future.
We talk a lot about the partnership that we have with residents as they look at assisted living, and they know when they'll be looking at assisted living. They know their body, they know their health, and we ask residents to plan 2 years down the road for when they think they're going to need assisted living. But life happens and plays out in those 2 years, and oftentimes unexpected occurrences come up. You and the case managers have a variety of resources that residents routinely tap into. Tell us about some of those resources that help our residents perhaps look at staying in their apartments and aging in their apartments a little bit easier.
Sure. We have a lot of residents that will call. They've been under the weather. Perhaps they were in the hospital briefly, and they've gone directly back home. Maybe they have new medications that they weren't taking before, and they did fine managing 2 or 3 medications that they took for years. Now the doctor has thrown in a few extra medications and changed the doses and the timing. A pharmacy-filled pill box can be quite helpful to help people manage those medications. There's also Meals on Wheels, which can provide a great level of support for people that aren't able to get out and do the grocery shopping, or maybe just the meal preparation and the cleanup is an extra task that's a little bit more difficult for them to do.
I call that energy management. As you age, you have a rather finite amount of energy, and you have choices. How do you want to use that energy? Do you want to use it doing the shopping and going to Publix and battling the traffic right now, or do you want to use it on some of the things that are more important in your life? And some of the resources that you have to offer can help folks lead a more gratifying life and a more enriching life, and your resources can help with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Talk a little bit about home health and the role that might play.
Sure, home health is a great option for the residents to choose for needs that aren't necessarily medical, but more personal care or customized care. So you can hire home care to come in and grocery shop, do meal preparation. Perhaps you just want some companionship, someone to be there with you. They can also provide assistance with hands-on care. If you need help with bathing, dressing, grooming, they can step in and help with those things. You can have a minimum of 2 hours a day or 2 hours each time they come out, up to 24 hours a day.
And you're talking about what we would call private duty or privately paid for home care.
Correct.
There is Medicare covered home care. Talk a little bit about when somebody would be using Medicare covered home care.
Sure. There's also the Medicare covered home care that folks might use if they've come home from the hospital, recently been discharged from the pavilion. It's covered by Medicare because they're providing a skilled service. So either a nurse to perhaps do wound care, or if someone's newly diabetic and they're teaching them how to monitor their diabetes and care for that. It might also be physical therapy, occupational therapy. So they're doing providing a skilled service, but again, allowing someone to go home sooner than they may have been able to without that service.
Okay, and there are a number of Medicare qualified home health providers that you work with that you'd be happy to help folks get connected to if they aren't already connected?
Absolutely. You do need a prescription from your doctor to have Medicare covered home care, but we can certainly help to facilitate getting that set up.
Okay. And how would somebody go about getting private duty?
Well, we have a Shell Point Home Care here, so we do have that private home care that you can hire someone to come in. There are also a variety of other home care providers in the area. You're welcome to choose whomever you'd like to use, but it is nice that we have the providers right here.
And they work within our system. Our home care staff knows our Shell Point staff, and they're so well coordinated within our Shell Point family of providers. Absolutely. It's a great coordinated service.
Certainly makes coordinating care much easier when someone's using a Shell Point service.
When we talk a bit about bridging the gap, you used an illustration that I thought was really helpful. Talk a little bit about that illustration.
Sure. We talk a lot with residents about a very common question is, how do I know when it's time to move to assisted living? And the answer to that question is going to be different for everyone because of their circumstances, because of how comfortable they are with bringing support into their home, or how quickly they might want to move. So it's not a fine line between independent living and assisted living. A lot of times there's a little bit of a gap in there. There's some space, and so there's a lot of services you can use to bridge that gap. Being home care, being a primary one of those services that people use, or Meals on Wheels, or a pill box, depending on what you're needing extra support with.
All of these services that we've talked about is a menu of, comprise a menu of those services. So our Shell Point residents can pick and choose and really come together with a plan that can help them extend the time that they can remain in their independent apartment, or shorten the time. It just depends on their choices and their preferences.
Absolutely.
And the case managers do a fine job of helping them navigate that opportunity.
Absolutely.
I would just encourage you, if you haven't had a chance to meet with your case manager, you don't know who your case manager is. They're available here at Shell Point. Each one of your courts has a case manager assigned to it, and they'll be more than happy to come out and meet with you individually in the comfort of your own home. And they are your guide through this maze of services, and they're a great resource for you. So we wish you good health. And if you have any questions, whether it's related to when should you look at assisted living and when is the right time, or whether you need to access one of these services, reach out and get a hold of your case manager. They'll be happy to come and help contact with you.
Well, that's going to bring this weekend edition of Shell Point Today to a close for March 25th, 26th, and 27th. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. Thanks for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we look forward to seeing you again here on Monday.